Say hello to my little friend. Hi, Zizaran here with another league starter for the upcoming Crucible League, and this is a collab with Goratha. This is going to be Lightning Arrow Champion. Starting with a bow skill can be really cool, but also really difficult for new players. So keep that in mind if you're newer to Path of Exile, that attack-based skills are a lot harder to scale than something spell-based like Caustic Arrow, Toxic Rain, or Explosive Arrow. There's going to be a little pressure on you making sure you know how to solve builds. With that being said, Goratha is league starting this build himself and will now be showing you and talking a little bit about the build.
Hey, what's up guys, Goratha here. So we're playing a Lightning Arrow build. Lightning Arrow is going to excel quite a bit at doing map-like mechanics. Things like Expedition, Breach, Abyss. The new Breach and Abyss look very interesting, so they might be pretty good to farm next league. We'll have to see. I think all the uniques look really quite good. And we're going to be using them on this character. So how do you play this character? So we're going to be weapon swapping Adrenaline as a champion, which basically means we're going to be using Corrupting Fever, Life Tap, and Second Wind in our offhand. Swapping to it, using Corrupting Fever, and gaining Adrenaline from our first Strike Glass of Fall. It sounds a bit annoying, and to be honest, it is a bit annoying. You don't have to do this, but it is definitely pretty good for damage. Now, the thing is, on single target, you want to do this before you put your totems down, because whenever you weapon swap, your totems will go away. It's very important to keep that in mind. And if you don't want to bother at all with like the whole weapon swap thing, you can also display a Deadeye. Deadeye will definitely be a viable option for this as well. Deadeye version will be quite a bit squishier though. But yeah, you have to make sure you keep your Corrupting Fever to where it actually procs you below 50%. This is a good example of that getting messed up because I leveled up and got too much HP. Not working again. Yeah, that part is a bit annoying while leveling. Eventually, it's not a big deal later on though. And yeah, the single target. So like I said, you want to get Adrenaline up, and then you pop down your Artillery Ballistas, use your Sniper Smart Curse, and then you spam right click. Spam Lightning Arrow. You can also swap in Barrage on single target over whatever, like multi-Proj, or if you're using Mirage Archer later, you can drop that and swap in Barrage support. That'll also be a quite a big damage boost if you're struggling. And we're eventually gonna have now Lightning Arrow as well. I'd probably recommend getting that as soon as possible next patch because I think it's gonna be insane, and I'm really excited to try it out. But yeah, as you can see, this is probably the hardest campaign boss in my opinion, and it dies pretty fast. I'm pretty excited. This is honestly one of the best bro leagues we've seen in a while, in my opinion. We'll have to see how it ends up playing out, but I'm very excited. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the build, and give a shout out to Zizaran for doing the collab with me. I hope you guys have a good time with the league.
Another thing that's really cool about this build, it is a champion, but it's going to work on Deadeye as well, and the tree would be pretty much identical. We don't have a guide for the Deadeye version, but I do want to mention that that would work. That would be more damage versus the champion will have still very good damage, but also great survivability. If watching these videos helps you have a good league start, please consider subscribing to the channel as it helps me and my team a lot. So this is Path of Building. It's a third-party program. If you don't know how it works or how to get it, you can click this thing here. As normal, Goratha's done a beautiful step-by-step through, so that's very easy to find out what nodes you're taking when, and you can see very clearly what you're going to respec, etc. There are different endgame options. So for example, if you don't have a Thread of Hope, if you don't have Bubonic, etc., and you have different types that you can end up building depending on your own budget. Thankfully, and pretty cool that we're using Lightning Arrow throughout most of the process here, and then we're also using totems for even more single target and damage. If we look through the items, you can see everything early is just rare items. There's no unique or anything that you're relying on. Ignore the jewels because that's part of the skill tree and not the item set. You're basically looking at over 1 million damage with pretty basic stuff. And what's really cool for crafting is that we do have Deafening Essence of Wrath, that if you are able to like save up and get one, just that with crafted attack speed would be pretty good. So keep that in mind. And then we have loads of endgame gear that you can go for, like Shroud of the Lightless, Bubonic Trail, Voice of the Storm, Perseverance, and this is a non-crit build. And what's awesome is that we are getting a lot more things on the tree now, like bow attacks, fire an additional arrow, and +1 projectile, making bow a lot more viable than it has been in the past. Goratha's also put a lot of effort into a lot of notes here, so make sure you check that out. It explains auras, the lab order, everything like that. So there's loads of information here. And if you are struggling with something, you can go to Goratha's stream and he'll probably be able to give some tips and tricks for how to improve whatever problem you're having. So this is what we're looking at now, is with the endgame tree, the endgame skills, and endgame items. This is not a crazy budget, but we're looking at 3.4 million damage as an estimate. And it's really cool that we are not counting Wild Lightning Arrow in this at all. So that's going to be a big part of your single target damage. And I think a little bit about scaling and perfecting that with how you're going to end up doing it. We'll probably need some tinkering around with it. But it looks really, really good. Way more viable than ever in the past. And hopefully that'll help nuke down bosses. And a thing that's been changed this league that is incredibly strong is Vengeance Cascade. Now it's basically Nimbus for ranged. So that's why you can see that we have count 2 on the lightning arrow. It might end up being even more damage than this, but it does mean that the arrows will be able to go back and forth and will hopefully hit targets twice multiple times. So should be very, very interesting with all the combinations of Val lightning arrow and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the collab. There's so many cool things here, and a really great thing about Goratha playing this himself is he's going to be doing updates on his YouTube channel, and you can go ask him any questions. So make sure you sub to his YouTube, help him out on Twitch, and an amazing content creator, definitely worth watching. There is a lot of unknowns with this build, and since the baseline looks so strong, it might end up being a lot more powerful, but I do want to always say that leveling with an attack-based skill as a league starter can always be scary, so make sure that you know what you're getting into. We do have a lot of like easier things like Toxic Rain, etc. that we are known for being guaranteed as a league starter. So keep that in mind. Go show Goratha some love, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me if you liked the video, but more importantly, try to die less than I do.